I woke up to big news this morning. About 3 hours ago, there was a huge announcement in Discord about the branding of the Vulcan ecosystem. What was said? What does it mean? How exciting is this really? Well, we're about to get into that. So let's go.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need.
Come on in, chaps, take a seat, pull up a pew. No time for tea today. This is big news and I want to get this video out as fast as I can. So without further ado, I will say, as I always do, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just bringing you the latest Vulcan news. So please do your own research. And as always, if you're watching this video, you enjoy this content and you're not subscribed, why not? Please do consider subscribing. It really helps the channel, and hit that subscription button down below. Thank you so much. So what is going on? Well, huge announcement this morning, and I do think it's huge, and I'll come to that in just a few minutes once we've been through it. So there is a Medium article, I will link it down below, but let's just dive in and catch the highlights as we usually do. So here we go. And the headline is, we are excited to announce the rebranding of our ecosystem dApps, VulcanTrace, VulcanBridge and OOXYSwap. So let's just take a little look at each one of those. So first of all, VulcanTrace. VulcanTrace, our blockchain explorer, has been rebranded to align with its function of a comprehensive tool for exploring, analysing and tracing data within our chain. And it's going to be a powerful tool providing valuable insights and transparency into the inner workings of the Vulcan blockchain, etc. You can read the rest there. So obviously VulcanTrace is like BSC scan, snow trace on Avalanche. Every blockchain has a way of tracking every transaction, and this will be Vulcan's version of that. So VulcanTrace, love the name. Of course, it fits with the Vulcan branding. It's just very straightforward, very professional. Yeah, really like it. Okay, let's move on. So next is VulcanBridge. So introducing VulcanBridge. This will be our first bridge of the ecosystem that gives our community direct access to the Binance Smart Chain. This connection allows for seamless transfer of assets, fostering interoperability and collaboration between the two blockchain networks. Whoa, I feel like this is just dangling a bit of a carrot to us, because obviously it's the first bridge, so how many bridges are there going to be? But no further details of the mechanisms of the bridge or future bridges. So, a little tantalizing thing there, but confirmation that there will be a Vulcan bridge, which is fantastic. And then we go on to OOXYSwap. So let's look at that. The Vulcan ecosystem offers a wide range of products, one of which, OOXYSwap, a decentralized exchange DEX built on the Vulcan blockchain. OOXYSwap is a powerful tool that allows for the seamless trading of paired tokens on the Vulcan network. Paired with OOXY token, the native token of the exchange, the DEX will provide users access to all of our products in one place, making it easy for them to explore and utilize the full range of our offerings. Ooh, so suddenly we now know there is going to be an OOXY token. We didn't know that until now, so that's quite big news. And also, really importantly, I think, a reminder that behind Vulcan is, of course, OOXY Labs. And Vulcan is the first of what may be many products coming from OOXY Labs. And suddenly you've got OOXY, the brand OOXY, the team behind OOXY, you know, really laying out the landscape that Vulcan is the first, obviously, you know, huge product, but the Vulcan blockchain is the first of what will be potentially many products coming from OOXY Labs, with OOXY, the OOXY token, tying them all together. Woo! So how is this all gonna work? So I think we've got a lot more detail to come on this. Obviously, we've just been given a little bit of a glimpse of the ecosystem, of the wider ecosystem. But could it be? And I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to tie all this together in terms of Vulcan and what it means for the Vulcan coin. So could it mean that when we have a central exchange, which is yet to be announced, but you go to a central exchange, you buy the OOXY token, you then go to the DEX to swap it for Vulcan, where you will pay the 5% fee. And then obviously you do the opposite going backwards. If you're selling Vulcan, you sell, you pay the fee through the DEX, and then you swap it to OOXY, and that's what you then, go back to the central exchange with. That would get over the issue of having a rebasing coin on a central exchange, because Vulcan wouldn't be on the central exchange. It would be OOXY that would be on the central exchange. I don't know. Am I just going off on one there, or is that how it's going to work? I just think this is the first of what I think is now going to be a lot of announcements coming quite quickly. We're still looking at a launch of the 1st of March, and I do think that's a really significant date. We know that safuux, the first project from Brian Legend, was launched exactly a year to the day on the 1st of March. So I think the 1st of March is something very special, and a special day that will be targeted now for Vulcan to launch. It tells a story, and I do think the team behind Vulcan will absolutely be doing everything they can to launch on that 1st of March date. We don't know, it still might be further delayed. We haven't been told that, and we are all still hoping for the 1st of March, and I think they will move mountains to make it that date. And of course, this whole announcement is absolutely laying the landscape for the Vulcan blockchain. And at the beginning I said, how exciting is this? Question mark. To me, this is, you won't be surprised to hear, because I get very excited, very exciting. But let me tell you why for me personally. So when I think of things, concepts and ideas and things, I tend to think of them as like a shape in my head. So we all think differently, we all imagine things differently, but I think when it comes to thinking about things, I'm quite visual. And I think until now, I've kind of thought of the Vulcan blockchain in terms of a shape as something quite flat. A little bit like, I guess, a DeFi project. It's a project, it sits there, and it is what it is. And I guess until now, subconsciously in my head, that's how I've been thinking of the Vulcan blockchain in terms of a shape, something almost two-dimensional, knowing that other things were coming. But now that those things are now coming, the landscape is being laid, the foundations of the house are being built. Suddenly, literally, on reading this Medium article, that 2D Vulcan blockchain shape that was in my head has literally exploded into absolutely a 3D dimensional, colourful, I don't know, entity. It's got length, it's got breadth, it's got depth. We're getting a feel for the ecosystem. In the last week or two, we've heard more about the projects. We've heard obviously about Cosmic Force and the kind of, although, we still haven't heard about loads of projects, but between the 3 Skyway partners and the other community projects that we know are aiming to be on the Vulcan blockchain, we're getting a feel for the length and breadth of the projects as well, from, for example, a tiny little gorgeous project that I'm in, Course for the Calves, that I've made videos about on the one end, to the what looks like it's going to be a Goliath of a gaming project in Cosmic Force, and potentially everything in between. And for me, this announcement is absolutely putting meat on the bones. So many ways of saying this, putting meat on the bones, laying the foundations, building the future and all of that. But this is the ecosystem, this is the landscape of the Vulcan blockchain, and for me now, this is more real than it has ever felt. And I honestly do think that in the coming weeks, if not days, we are going to get bang, 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 bang. The OOXY Labs team are laying these foundations for us so that they can bring us who knows what in the coming very near future. That's what I think. And just as I was going to bed last night, Brian dropped what I think could be something incredible in Discord. He said he wasn't going to give us any hints and tips and riddles anymore, but he's done it again. This is what he said. Let's have a look. So he said, just think, how would Brian use his skills to make Bitcoin's halving event that much better and utilize the concept of reducing Vul supply to benefit Vulcan holders? And then soon after he said, article release and announcement will follow in the next few days. So something is coming down the line very soon. What does it mean? There was all sorts of discussion in Discord as I was going to bed, trying to get to sleep and thinking, oh, I've got to read more about all sorts of things being proposed in Discord last night. And I think the main kind of thing that was kind of highlighted was, is Vulcan gonna have a halving like Bitcoin, but better? Maybe instead of every 4 years, it's gonna be every year. Maybe, and this is what, I'm not bringing this to you, this is kind of what was being proposed in the Discord by other community members. Perhaps, is there gonna be like an annual massive burn called a firestorm? We've heard of firestorm before. On the anniversary of the launch of the blockchain, so, 1st of March every year, is there going to be a massive treasury burn? We know that 1% of every transaction will go to the treasury. The treasury will have sufficient funds, let's just say that. What if there was this massive firestorm once a year or something, where, I don't know, a whole load of Vulcan coins were burned from the treasury, thus reducing the circulating supply even more and pushing up the price? Who knows? But stay tuned, guys, because as I say, news is now, I think, going to be coming thick and fast. We're going to see something on this firestorm or halving idea in the next few days. We're going to see more about this ecosystem. We're going to hear more about the mechanics of how it's going to work. And suddenly, the 1st of March, although it feels like it's round the corner, what are we, about 5 weeks away now? It kind of feels like those jigsaw puzzle pieces are coming into place and being laid very slowly but regularly. And soon we will have the complete picture. And I, for one, cannot wait. So Vulcan Gang, I'm going to leave it there for today, but thank you for joining me on this video. I hope to see you in my next one, of course. Who knows when that'll be? Might be tomorrow. More news, who knows? But in the meantime, I am going to say, as always, my dear Vulcans, live long in prosperity and cheers.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days.